All right, guys, so this story here is a kick in the ass if I've ever seen one. So as you know, the Trump regime decided we are going to defund the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and a lot of the funding for NPR and PBS goes through there. And you did have, one of them came out and said, like, hey, man, we're basically going to shut this bitch down because we don't have the money to be able to keep going. So really, he's waging a war on public broadcasting in general. And that's fucking horrible. I mean, some of the best stuff that we see on TV here comes from public broadcasting. Of course, I mean, obviously you had like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, like the children's programming. But you also have like PBS Frontline, for example. They have some of the best documentaries around. And all this stuff, you know, they're waging a war on this stuff and they're trying to make it go away. Donald Trump would like every single outlet to be like Newsmax or One America News Network and sing his praises 24/7, right? Like this is what he wants. And so this would leave a void out there. Getting rid of PBS, NPR, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, that would leave a massive void out there. Well, look at this from More Perfect Union. Guess who's going to fill that void? The White House is partnering with PragerU. The conservative, biased education company is already making AI content in a series launched with the Trump administration. And new reporting suggests the White House could be eyeing PragerU as a substitute for PBS. So replace an outlet that does genuinely great work, that teaches good values to the kids, that actually gives a shit about facts and truth when it does news coverage, right? Replace that with a complete biased hack outlet like Prager University. This is terrifying, y'all. This is terrifying. So just to put in perspective for you how crazy this really is, okay? Look at this. Here's just one example of the stuff that they try to teach to kids at Prager University. This is their Christopher Columbus talking about slavery, and listen to what he says.
Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? Before you judge, you must ask yourself, what did the culture and society of the time treat as no big deal?
This is the stuff they say. Hey, who are we to judge, bro? Who are we to judge with our modern values looking back? Like, are we really going to say categorically that slavery is bad and wrong? Are we really going to do that? It was no big deal at the time, bro. Everybody was doing it, bro. This is what they want to teach kids? This is what they want to teach kids. I got more for you. So here is the Frederick Douglass of PragerU, and look at how they discuss race issues.
Children, our founding fathers knew that slavery was evil and wrong, and they knew that it would do terrible harm to the nation. They wanted it to end, but their first priority was getting all 13 colonies to unite as one country. The southern colonies were dependent on slave labor, and they wouldn't have joined a union that had banned it.
Are you okay with that?
I'm certainly not okay with slavery, but the founding fathers made a compromise to achieve something great, the making of the United States. It was America that began the conversation to end it. But Leo is correct that big problems need to be approached very carefully. Have you kids heard of William Lloyd Garrison?
No. Nope.
He's an abolitionist like me, and he and I used to be friends, but we aren't any longer. We don't agree how to solve problems. William refuses all compromises, demands immediate change, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he likes to set things on fire.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds like you know the type.
Yeah, we've got that type in our time.
So, you're trying to work for change inside of the American system.
Precisely, Layla. Our system is wonderful, and the Constitution is a glorious liberty document. We just need to convince enough Americans to be true to it.
So that was a sly dig there at BLM, right? But also they're attacking the idea that, you're a hardliner against slavery because, you got to compromise. You got to compromise on this stuff. This is what they want to teach, bro. How about this? DeSantis in Florida, this was from 2023. They approved classroom videos from PragerU that compare climate activists to Nazis. To Nazis. This is a far-right outlet that does shameless, disgusting propaganda to try to make your kids brainless conservatives. I'm still not done, though. I'm still not done. If you didn't think this was bad enough, here's a video that they did on the abolitionist John Brown. Listen, and this one was so controversial and there was so much backlash that they low-key deleted it. But listen to how they talked about the issue. And what you'll see here is, in no uncertain terms, they're doing apologia for the Confederacy.
Who was Robert E. Lee? Statues of great historical figures, like Robert E. Lee, are being torn down across America. Here are some facts about Lee that remind us why his statue should remain. Robert E. Lee was connected to George Washington through his father, Light Horse Harry Lee, Washington's cavalry commander, and his wife, Martha Washington's great-granddaughter. Lee's home at Arlington House was just 10 miles from Washington's Mount Vernon. Today, it is the site of Arlington National Cemetery. After 30 years of military service, Lee led U.S. Marines to crush the attempted slave rebellion by radical abolitionist John Brown in October 1859.
They are celebrating the pro-slavery position here. This isn't subtle. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro.
21 co-conspirators had seized a federal armory, and all of them were killed or captured.
And they were all fucking heroes. Heroes!
Including John Brown, who was tried and hanged for treason. Lee deemed slavery a moral and political evil in any country.
And that's why he fought for it.
Considered it a greater evil to the white man than to the black race, since blacks are immeasurably better off here than in Africa. Opposing secession, Lee foresaw no greater calamity for the country than a dissolution of the Union. But when Virginia seceded in a close vote, Lee resigned his commission. Despite offers to command Union forces, Lee opted to organize the defense of his native state. After 4 years as Confederate commander, Lee became an icon of reconciliation upon his surrender. As president of Virginia's Washington College, he favored education for freed slaves but opposed their right to vote.
This is all in a video as to why you shouldn't take down Robert E. Lee's statue. And they're saying openly, like, yeah, he didn't want black people to be able to vote. Again, this is in a video about why you shouldn't take down Robert E. Lee's statue.
Lee died from a stroke in 1870 and is buried beneath Lee Chapel in what's now Washington and Lee University. His legendary warhorse Traveler rests in a plot nearby.
My God, bro. My God. So you need to understand what this outlet is. They deny climate science, so they're against environmentalism. They're against equality and egalitarianism. Whatever the conservative issue du jour is, they're on top of that shit like white on rice. They're just hardcore conservative Republican fascists. And here they are, defending the Confederacy, defending Robert E. Lee. You saw the stuff that they said when they talk about slavery, for example. You saw, oh my God, I didn't even pull up. There's this video of them. No, that may have been Daily Wire. Just like an outright defense of Columbus Day. I know PragerU outright defends Columbus Day too. Columbus was a genocidal maniac. But there was this video that was just disgusting about trying to defend Columbus's legacy. They want to replace PBS with this. They want to make your child a monster. They want to make your child reflexively far right-wing. What they want to do, they want to brainwash. That's what they want to do. They want to rewrite history. They don't want people to learn the truth. If you learn the truth about the United States of America, that means the good and the bad. Yes, you talk about the good. You talk about Lincoln, you talk about FDR and the New Deal, you talk about the civil rights movement. All that stuff should be taught. But what they want to do is make sure, hey, downplay the Native American genocide. Act like, oh, it was necessary and it had to happen and it was manifest destiny and everything was actually fine with it and we didn't actually mean to hurt them or anything like that. So they'll do that. They'll downplay racial strife and Jim Crow and segregation and slavery and redlining. They'll downplay the lack of women's rights. This is what they'll do. And they'll play up what's called American exceptionalism, which is this idea. It's really just American supremacy. It's this notion that we're good by definition. Anything we do is great. And if you talk about the bad parts of the U.S., you're anti-American, right? You're basically an enemy. And they want to create little monsters. They want to create little closed-minded monsters who are blind nationalists, who are fundamentally incapable of being objective and telling the truth about the country that they're born and raised in. So that's the goal. That's the goal. And this would turn a generation. We're already having trouble with the younger generation being way too right-wing. This would turn the generation below that into fucking demons, like actual demons. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.